Hi, beautiful soul sisters and brothers. It's me and Erika back on this week's episode of Soul Sisters Real and Raw talk show. And we were just talking a little bit, and we want to talk about the energetics, about money, and from our experiences as well. What do you think, Erika?
Yeah, I love that topic.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
And
Yeah.
let's go back in time first. How were you when you grew up? What was how did you learn about money? Like, do you remember what
Yeah.
you
Yeah, of
at
course
that
I
time?
remember. Yeah, it's like for me, growing up in Colombia, and that time it was like displacement, guerrilla and all these conflicts, internal conflicts. We were for like an average family that didn't have much, so it was like a lot of sacrifice. This like you get this, but you don't get to get that. And we didn't have money. We didn't even have a car. We never owned a car as a family. And it was like that perception that if somebody has money, it was like somebody corrupt, somebody
Yeah,
that was doing something fishy
yeah.
and that kind of thing. Also, the time that I was brought up in, it was like it wasn't safe for you. I think it's still the case in some places in Colombia that
Yeah.
you cannot wear certain things like a golden necklace or things like
Yes,
that
I know.
because then somebody will steal it or like somebody will kill you for it, to the point that I heard stories that if you're wearing some nice fancy sneakers or shoes, like somebody will rob them from you on the street. And it was like growing up with that, it felt to me, being so empathic, right, of course, and absorbing everything. I realized when I was a lot older that I had that thing within me that having money was bad. And
Mm.
if I had money, people will perceive me in a negative way, like
Mm.
I'm full of myself and things like that. When I started doing spiritual work, I realized that those roots of those beliefs were really, really deep. And they were like all kind of like enmeshed in my energy, but that wasn't really my way of believing.
Mm.
I'm very spiritual, but felt that wrongness within me because I have a taste for expensive things. I have
Yeah.
a taste for good food. Always had a taste for like nice things, nice
Yeah.
quality things. And
Quality.
I
Yeah.
love both. I love simplicity, but there are certain things that I just love, like luxury. Like I love, and I can say without shame now, but I used to feel shame. I like expensive purses, for example,
Mm.
and that's my thing. And but I have shame before around these things because, like, if you're spiritual, and my mother used to tell me like I should do my work for free. Like, how comes I'm charging this much? And it is a gift given by God. And it's like, in a sense, yes, but I spent way more than 20 years kind of like crafting my gifts. Let's do
Yeah,
it, quote
yeah, yeah.
unquote. And I'm like, how wouldn't I charge? Like, I have paid mentors like not little bitty. I have paid over like 50K with mentors and healing and all of that. And I'm like, I have paid, so why wouldn't I charge? So having those reactions of people when I was talking about, I'm investing in a coach or I am doing this for me, and people like reacting like, what? Like, you're crazy. Like, how could you? But knowing within myself that we was feeling right and it was the right thing for me, it was interesting because I realized along the way that all those money mindset that I had, those beliefs, were not mine.
No.
So how about you? How was your experience growing up with money mindset?
I would say what I know now is that being born in India and the attachment and money wound and financial wound in my body and cell memory was created there. And I was kind of a transaction coming here.
That's huge.
And since it was human trafficking as well, it's kind of corrupted money. You could really say corrupted. But coming here to Sweden, I would say my parents, they have always had like a middle class kind of, I would say. So I've never felt short about money when I grew up, but their mindset has not been the highest one. Let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not here to blame them in any way, because they haven't been taught how to, treat money
Absolutely.
and so on. And I am like you, that, and I can hear it from your human design and mine, since we have kind of so many similarities in our human design as well, where quality is really important. And right now, I think it was when I was in London 2022, I actually, because I know I will be living there, so I was in contact with a real estate there. So I have had a real estate, like, they are sending me on email, like, houses and apartments the last couple of years now. And then I can, like, start, and it's a lot of money. But for me, it's like, of course, that would be, now it's more like, where do I want to live? So to kind of what do you say, boost my nervous system. And, we talked about the bandwidth, because when I grow up and until recently, when I received a big sum of money, I spent it.
Yeah.
Even if I
Yeah.
invested in myself, like you said, in coaches, like, that is an asset. That's beautiful, because you're actually getting something out of it. Every investment. It's not the liability when you invest in yourself. But we weren't taught that. I wasn't taught that either.
Exactly. And I love that aspect that you brought it up because I can see it in myself when I was making money. Like when I started
Mm.
working as soon as I moved to the States, but it was like
Yeah.
I was making money, but the same
Yeah.
or even more was
Yeah.
going out of me. And at some point I found myself in debt. It
Yeah.
wasn't much though. It was like maybe 2000 or something like that. For me that I have zero and I was a student with loans and that it felt like a lot. It felt like the world collapsing on me. But it felt like I was on a treadmill, like like working so hard because I always jokingly say that I'm a recovered workaholic and recovered perfectionist because I was so intense with work and having everything to do perfect. Because yeah, like looking back, why do I have that pattern? Yeah, because I never got the recognition from my environment, from my family, that I matter or that I was worth it or I did something good enough. It was always complaints, complaints, complaints. So of course I have to be perfectionist. Of
Yeah.
course I have to try super hard for somebody to tell me you matter, you're good, like go ahead. So yeah, recovering from that and realizing that that is not our true nature because like you said, you mentioned the nervous system and I was like of course, but I was so dead. I was clinically diagnosed with depression and of course I have all the my body was collapsing in so many ways and my nervous system was just trash to say it in a way. So it's been years of unpacking
Mm.
because it's layers and layers of
Yeah.
unconscious agreements that we have made, and some of them go even in my awareness beyond this timeline. So the fact that we chose those patterns in that family nucleus, like we chose specific family that also had that lack,
Mm.
because there's something pending in our field that needs to work on that. So we
Mm.
choose those specific patterns, we choose those vessels to come through and incarnate again and kind of have that environment. And at some point we come to the conclusion that that's not our inner reality.
No.
And I think it's been the case for you too, because like otherwise you wouldn't seek out healing and self-help and growth and all of that because there is something within us that rejects in our knowing rejects those establishments because I also feel that big part of our families back then, because I think most families back in the day had that, even if they had money, they were like hoarding it and they were afraid to invest because it was so risky or this or that, is because this collective imprint of this fear that money is hard to get, money is hard to come about, you have to work so hard for
The
it,
struggle.
and
Mm.
right, the struggle, the
Mm.
hustle, and certain people are just so good with it, right? Like certain individuals can hold it, but like you don't have the energetic structure to hold it. That's why we're like releasing money. Like money comes, money goes. But when you accept within yourself, like it's like building that security, and we talk about it briefly, within your nervous system and your root, the primal, the primordial core that holds us in this world, the safety, when you know that you're safe within yourself and that money is like breathing, money is like eating, money is like anything that is in motion and is in flow, you allow it in and out of your life without hoarding, because I seen both
Exactly.
tendencies with clients. I've never been a hoarder. I was more like, oh, money comes and money goes, like
Yeah.
spend it all, give it away. And now I'm like, I see it, and it's like I can hold more, and I can also be, because I do a lot of things that people don't know, because I don't feel good about sharing what the charity work that I do behind the scenes. But it's like it comes sometimes in the most miraculous way, and it's
Yeah.
like allowing, it's like the rhythms and the tides. And I want to share something briefly, because I'm wearing this intentionally, this shell of they're
Yeah.
handmade, native Indian American made these earrings. And I was by the sea this morning because my body needed it.
Yeah.
And we just had a storm here in Spain, south of Spain. And we have all these beautiful shells that came down from the deep from the ocean and emerged, and they were by the shore. And I was just like handpicking the ones that resonated, that were whole. And I'm just feeling this intense energy. And I was like, wow, like they are holding these codes. They are holding this information that is in the water, because water is information that has been in the planet for so long. And everything is in flow, everything is in motion. And it's that invitation to give and take, to dance with the tides, to dance with life. And we tend to constrict, like when we have money, when money comes, you could celebrate it, you could like, oh my gosh, but sometimes it gives you fear, it gives you anxiety to give it away, because you feel that, oh, what if it doesn't come like this much again? And it's like an unconscious belief that we have as a collective, that ooh, or we just go and spend it all and go crazy. But if we have this remembrance of that security, that is like breathing, that is like eating, like it's just like any other thing, but of course that's a journey in itself, is more stable. And I was just in that deep thought and that deep realization that we are safe because we are safe no matter what.
Yeah.
That money, and is not just money because we gave meaning to like this bill means this much,
Yeah.
and this coin means that much. It's not transactional. But like the frequency of abundance is a code in itself, and it's like we all have it within us, but some of us have it like very calcified, like it's not open and it's not in flow. So I feel that part of all this energy movement that we all experience it, knowing or not knowing, is shaking things up for us to realize that it's our birthright to be safe, it's our birthright to be abundant, because abundance is not just financial. It's like I'm abundant in time, I'm abundant with amazing friendships that are aligned, I'm abundant with many other things that are not money. So if we think on those terms, money comes naturally.
I love that. I love it. And I think what you're sharing, like exactly, money, like wealth, it can be being present, feeling alive, doing what you love, um, having fun, and, you know, choosing joy instead of anxiety. It's a choice as well.
Yes,
It is.
I
And
love
I
that.
would say that I'm just thinking about, of course, when me and my love a couple of years ago, when we were like hacked and with these corrupted people, um, of course that happened because from his energy and my energy, it came from greed a little bit. So it
Wow.
wasn't, it wasn't pure. The energy wasn't pure. Um, and we were here to learn this and really learn it. Yet let's be honest. I mean, to lose seven figure, it's a lot. But I always felt, okay, this is here to teach me something. So I never felt, how can I say, I just knew it was kind of meant to happen. Of course, it wasn't, of course, I was stressed and all of that. But in my journey, and for everyone listening, most of the people out there are earning their money from survival.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because survival is also what you said, Erica, lack. Everything that has with lack. And I had to really be so honest with myself. So if I go back in time and let's say I bought, I don't know, I was on a cafe eating something, having a coffee or something. I felt a void, something restricted in my body after I paid every time. I did it anyhow, and I bought nice things. It's not that, but I felt it. And the deeper I like unfolded, and like we say, it's a constant journey of micro healing and releasing. And the more whole I feel within me now, that void is it has dissolved more and more. But my nervous system was on, like, it created the inflammation in my body 3 years
Wow.
ago. And it's been there because it was so tied to like deep wound of not feeling worthy, survival, and not just in this lifetime, but also a lot of darkness in past life and trafficking and a lot of stuff that I'm now like unfolding and unfolding. So I would say to everyone listening, there's nothing wrong with you if you feel that you feel lack, or if you say like this: when I have money, I will travel. When I have money, I will buy, I don't know, house, apartment, car, like the physical things as well. Or when I have money, I will be happy. When I have money, I will meet my, you know, dream partner, or feel emotionally connected or whatever. But it starts with, I would say, money is love, and like money is love, and you are money, like it's intertwined.
You are wealth. Like I feel that as we are becoming more of ourselves because we are doing this collectively, it's like recognizing that money is not a separate thing from us, it's
Yes.
like integrated.
Yeah.
And it's recognizing that it's as any part of life. Like yes, we have given it meaning, but it's just transactional, and we're not here just to survive. But that survival energy, in my awareness, has, because I have worked energetically with so many people over the years, that I found it many times is intervention and sabotage and imprints and overlays that make us forcefully heavy programming, a lot of other things that are used to create that. So that to create us that fear and separation from money, like we are here and money
Yeah.
is like unattainable, hard to get, difficult, like you have to get, survive so many things to get it. And it's like it's just further from the truth, and like I'm a living testament of that. And I used to have like very very like lack mentality, but I realized that those were not my actual beliefs. And the more that I get to work with energy and understand how things, because I understand very little, like we are just kind of like decoding our own existence. I
Right.
feel little by little, and it's like it is available for all of us. And right now, even if you feel like in the worst moment in your life where things are not moving or you're not experiencing yourself in the financial situation that you desire, you can change that, because the exact polarity exists right
Exactly.
in the
Yeah.
same space.
Yeah.
And you would start thinking, because I feel that the problem with us is that we don't question things enough. we take things as they are, right? Like, I'm just like, I was just born in a, I could just say I was born in a family that didn't have money. I didn't grow up with money, and that's a fact, yes. But I like, I can change that. How? Okay, changing my beliefs, changing the way how I approach that. Yeah, moving sometimes through my fear and like, oh, make investments. Like, yeah, they're scary. Like, nobody in my life made it, in my family made it investments, but like, who would I be if I do that? And what are
Yeah.
the risks and what are the consequences? And like doing it anyway, and creating an amazing life. And it's like, you can do things and you can move through fear, but it's all coming down to what you were mentioning earlier, Jaya, like that, regulating your nervous system as you go. And for me, has been very important to lean in to somebody that can hold me in the moments that I'm like doubting myself,
Yeah.
fearing the next step, all of the things, because those are very natural things that we all encounter. It doesn't matter where we are in life.
No.
You can be on the top, you can be making like six, seven figures. You still have those in and out, like coming at random times in your
Exactly.
life. And it's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
like it is a journey. It is
Yeah.
definitely a journey. But my invitation, and I want to leave you with, is that you really question everything in your life when you
Yeah.
experience things. Is like when you, for example, I used to constrict about receiving expensive gifts from my husband, because I was like, no, and then we can do this other thing, or we can pay a trip with that money.
Mm.
And then like I see how I receive now, that I was like, yeah, with ease, like, thank you, like, I'm
Yeah.
so excited. I was like, whoa, that's a big difference. Same person,
Yeah.
different way of receiving. And I think receiving is really, really important, because that's how we activate more of us, that
Yeah.
abundance within us, because we always like, we don't feel worthy, we don't feel that we can receive something that is so grand. And it's like, yes, yes, it doesn't matter, we give a meaning. The same thing can cost, we can all agree that it costs nothing, and the
Yeah.
same thing we can agree that it costs millions.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's all
Absolutely.
abstract stuff. So we
Yeah.
can change the meaning, and we can change how we associate money. And how about you just, with whatever circumstance that you're going through, is like, I'm abundant because that's my birthright.
Yeah.
And if not, what is interfering with that? Start questioning, is it my beliefs? Am I carrying somebody's patterns? Like, what is stopping me from achieving more wealth or more success? Like, really start asking deeper, because the universe will provide, and you will get those answers if you really sit with yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I have two things I want to share. It's one of them is I don't know, 1.5 years ago or something. I received a lot of money and I was going to buy some new clothes to myself, and I was chatting with my love, and he misunderstood me with what I was going to pay, and I felt the nervous system was all over the place. I had to like deep breathe. I went to in the store and I was like deep breathing and like chatting with him, and like, okay, my nervous system is all over the place right now. And he said something, I don't remember exactly what, but something about the amount that I was going to pay. So it was actually a question, but I misinterpreted it in kind of blame or
Gotcha.
something, Yeah, yeah. So I was like, wait a minute. And I set my boundaries, and he was like, no, I didn't mean like that. This is what I meant. And I felt it when I said it. I felt it in my stomach immediately, because we are energetically connected with each other all the time. And that's also something I want to bring up, because in this journey, when you start to heal your wounds around money, it's these micro, um, what do you say, micro healing opportunities to really be in that energy, because then I could release it, because I have my tools, and then I could breathe it out, and afterwards I could calm my nervous system, and everything was fine, and I'm so happy I bought everything that I bought. So that's one thing. And the other thing I would like to say is also, I shared with you that I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago, a sister of mine from California, she shared with me in December like a cosmic blueprint uh, with my astrology and money. And it's all about impact, purpose, and what more? Power? No, impact, purpose, and
I think it has to do with joy and loving what you're doing.
abundance. Thank you, abundance.
Abundant.
Yeah, and with the planets when I was born and everything, and then I wasn't ready to deep dive in December, but yesterday I was, or 2 days ago, at the full moon, I think it was, I started to read and I was like, oh my God, here's the answer. We already have it when we were born. Because for me, it said my wounds and like with the planet of abundance, which is Jupiter, and the houses and all of that. But for me, the wound was tied to the root and my family's history, which is in India. And how also to, be abundant is that like to truly like healing that wound. And for me, about the self-worth, doing what I'm supposed to do, but also truly be in my values. Like my values being self-reliance, I think you say in English, and to be in my purpose. And
Yeah.
it was
I
about the
think for
self.
you, like myself, you need to enjoy it. Like I feel that for you. Like you need to enjoy it. You need to be all in. Otherwise, it's just not coming. Like
What's happening
it's
now?
not fluid
You
for
disappeared.
you. You froze for a minute. Let's see if it comes back up.
No. Vi ska se.